What is up, friends? Oh, it's nice to be back in the saddle again, they say. Well, anyway, if you don't know who I am Stopher Cavins. I'm a psychic medium, and you are watching the Stopher Show. All right, so tonight we are going to do some readings for some folks. If you would like to get a reading, it's not going to happen tonight. If you haven't already submitted your request to the Stopher Show at stophercavins.com. So we're doing a little bit of a different format, as you can see. Doesn't mean I'm not glad you're here, but we won't be, if you've attended my shows in the past, I won't be taking questions in the chat. It just kind of helps me streamline things. I do a little bit of pre-connection, write my notes, and then I will do the reading. So if you would like your question or request answered for next week, please email me at the Stopher Show at stophercavins.com. All right. And of course, I am a professional psychic medium. And if you would like your own private psychic or mediumship reading, please visit my website, stophercavins.com. You can go to the services tab right there on the front page of the website. You can see all my services and book right from the site. All right. What else do I want to tell you? So much has happened, right? So we won't go into the politics stuff. I've been dabbling with that a little bit on some of the pre-recorded stuff, but we will, hope everybody's going out there and already voted. We'll vote tomorrow, and we'll just leave that there. But I just a little bit, if you don't know me, and if you don't know how I read, I am a psychic, I am a medium, so I'm connecting to all things spiritual, all things universal, all things energy. And so if you believe in guides, if you believe in angels, loved ones in spirit are helping these messages come through. Your own, I'm connecting to, like I tell people in my private sessions, any energy that is pushing and pulling you through this world, I welcome that. I throw that into the pot of gumbo, so to speak. So we, when you dip your spoon in there, sometimes you get the chicken and the sausage and the vegetables and the rice. And we just welcome all that in, and that's how I read. I read all the parts of the gumbo. Sound good? All right, so if you're here, I'm actually not even looking at the comments. So if you're here, if I don't call you out and say thank you, I just want everybody to know I'm glad you're here. Please hit the like button. That always helps out the algorithms. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, wow, I would be so happy, so thrilled if you would do that. And then, because I'm trying to grow the channel, bring more people together, all different walks of life, all different, persuasions. It's kind of what I'm into. So once again, if you would like a question answered on the show, it's going to have to be the next show, which will be next Monday. We're doing this every Monday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific time, because I'm over here in LA. Anyway, the Stopher Show at stophercavins.com. Please email me with your question, and then I will read live for you, the next when the next show comes up. Also, I will be, like I was before, allowing people to come onto the live stream for mediumship requests, or if they want to have their question answered live, face to face, so to speak. And then you request, what happened to my camera? You can email me that request, and I'll send you the link, and you'll come on and meet me on the show the following week. All right. So before we get into the questions, I just have like 4 or 5 of them tonight. I got to train you all. I got to get you all to learn how to do the new format. So I hope you understand there's only a few questions that I'm going to be answering tonight. But I just kind of wanted to share, because Spirit's been talking to me a lot. Well, Spirit always talks to me a lot. But when I say Spirit, once again, all those pieces of all those ingredients in the gumbo, so to speak, have been really communicating with me a lot recently. So I wanted to, before we get into the reading part of it, kind of go into how Spirit speaks to me. And I'd love to hear if you want to put it in the chat, and then also if you're watching this, in the future as a after it's recorded, put into the comments. I'd love to hear how spirit speaks to you in ways that you have, received messages. Of course, during readings, I'm kind of tuning out Stopher and then bringing in my client's energy. So that's kind of one way, when I'm just like really tuning in that FM, AM, FM dial. But just throughout my day to day, when it has to do with my life and my things, of course, I don't sit down and read for myself because I'm already tuned in. I already know what's going on in my life. But I do put out the intention that I want spirit to kind of show me the way. Sorry, let me get some water here. Show me the way, spirit. Show me what you want. Talk to me. I just realized my mic is probably not even on. Sounds great. So is my mic on? Bear with me, guys. Nobody's saying no mic, so. Mic is great. All right, well, I'm going to, let's see which mic is. I love it. I love it. This is what happens when you haven't been live for a while. Hang in there. Okay, so it's using the default. All right, sounds great. We might just keep it at that. Let's see if I can. Here we go. All right, so I'm with the new mic. It's a little boomy. Yeah, we don't like boomy. I thought it was on too. All right, so I'm on the new mic. Let me know how it sounds, and then I'll get back into my spiel, and we'll move forward. Thank you all for being here, by the way. And once again, if you have not hit the like button, please do that. Let's get all the likes on there, and then if you're not yet subscribed, let's build the channel. Let's do it. All right, sounds good. Thank you, Melanie. All right, I'm going to turn that off. And then where was I? Yeah, so Spirit speaks to me like they just did right now and said, your mic isn't the one you want to use. Anyway, so for me, one of the ways is I have a special number, and I've written about this. I've blogged about this on my website. It's there's a long story with it. So if you want to read the whole blog, it is on my website at stophercavins.com. And my number is 1138, and it's kind of a punk rock thing, and there's a whole story there. But it's a number that spirit kind of brought to me when I was a teenager, and there was a whole development thing, all that good stuff. But that number has stuck with me. So if you ever get like my credit cards or anything, you can probably just use my PIN number 1138. Anyway, it's everything. It's just a part of my life. But spirit speaks to me through that number, right? In different variations of that number, and not just in, I look at the time and it happens to be 1138 or 138, because both numbers are kind of the same for me. But I learned, one of my clients actually, she does numerology, and she actually told me that my name Stopher actually, and she didn't know about the whole 1138 thing, and she told me that my name actually adds up to 11 and 38, which it blew my mind. I was like, of course it does. But through numbers, that number, also other numbers as well. Just I look for meaning in everything. So also another thing that happens is I'll be speaking to a person, and it's almost like I get highlights. Like they'll say a word and it's just like highlighted, and it's just ingrained in my brain, and I can't get it out. So I make a bookmark, or kind of remember that, and then it never fails. It's always going to come back around, either in a reading or later in my day. Something about that word or that phrase or that topic comes back around. It's something that I need to know. It's something that kind of hits me in the face, and so I always, it's just like I want to, everything that happens in my day, I really make a mental note of it, because I know that spirit is always speaking to me. Someone is saying that spirit speaks to them through animals. I have the same thing. So, like I say, it's really everything. It's really everything. But I guess my point is, if you're looking for guidance, if you're looking, it's all a flow, right? So just be in that flow. Everything is a message. Everything is the kind of perfect recipe for energy to flow, and you're a part of it. We're all a part of it. Little dots on the map. So it's like a puzzle to me, right? I always see the so yesterday, Melanie, sorry, I'm just kind of dipping into the comments. I'm trying not to do that because it's just gonna, I want a certain flow here. But yesterday, me and my husband went to this really cool farmers market in downtown LA we had never been to before. It turned out to be just a great day that we spent together. So I pull up and we're parking, and I said, normally I don't, worry about what's on the clock, but it was 11:11. So I was like, oh, really cool. 11:11, make a wish, all that good stuff. And then we kind of like we're coming out of the parking garage, and right there on the building is huge 777. I mean, just like the the biggest, like 1 minute after we have the 11:11. So it was 777. And then I think there was something else. I went downstairs, and one of the addresses in the building was 1138, which is my number. And so I was like, this is going to be a great day. It's already a great day, but this is going to be just a fantastic day. And it was. Just a lot of good things happened. Then we hung out with some friends. So it was just Spirit's way of saying, you're on your path. Enjoy today. We love you. All that good stuff. All right. What else do I want to tell you before we get into the readings? Nothing. I don't want to tell you anything. Of course, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a real estate agent. I am not a lawyer, anything licensed. I am not that. I gave up my real estate license. So if you need more, if I'm reading your questions tonight and you need more than just my opinion of your energy, please consult with the proper licensed professional, because I'm not those. I'm just giving you my opinion of the energy. Real quick, I'll just let you know, when I make future predictions, I don't claim to see the future. I don't claim to have a figurative crystal ball. And I don't believe the future is written. We just have now. And so therefore, I just want to make it clear, what I'm doing when I make predictions is I'm picking up on energy that is already activated, things that are already kind of brewing, whether it's something you're aware of or something that maybe you're not aware of. And then I'm just kind of really telling you where that energy is pointed. Which freeway are you on, and what are the exits? What are the entrances? What are some of the obstacles on that freeway? And then at the end of the day, you get to decide what the prediction actually is, because you have free will, all the good stuff. All right. Is everybody still here? Cool. Let's get into the questions. Once again, I did a little bit of a session, kind of a spirit communication session before we hopped on here. So I have notes. You will see me looking down at my notes. All right. Simply C, thank you so much for the question. Simply C asks, I applied to Ascend WV, a remote relocation program, and haven't heard back. Any insight you can give me about my chances of getting in, and if that would be a good thing for me? All right. So let me just get in here to your question. Okay, there's your notes. What I have, Simply C, thank you so much for the question. What I have for you is, right now, I got to say it's a lower percentage. If I'm putting, this is just like feeling the energy. It's not popped up all the way up here. It's a little bit down here right now. I'm not going to say you have no chance of getting in right now, but I am going to say that I feel like it's a little bit lower. If I'm putting a number on it, we're at like 25%, right? So, but that's for now. So, and maybe that's not what you want to hear, but the energy in the universe is telling me there's a plan for you. So don't worry. It's going to work out really, really well. If you do get the opportunity and it feels right, I say go for it. But my prediction here, based on where that energy is headed, you're probably not going to hear from them or get a yes right now. Now, if I kind of take us into next year, probably right around this time, or like last quarter of 2025, I actually have the energy for a potential And I think it might have something to do with the program itself and and how competitive it is and that type of thing. But I have more like an 80%, 75 to 80% next year. But I actually don't think you're going to take it next year because there will be some other offerings, some other things you're doing. And also another thing that I need to tell you, if you're not aware, when we get to this time next year, I almost feel like there's also like life. And when I say life event, I'm not talking about like something bad or ominous, but just some like life changes and transitions that will probably have you moving. I feel like there's also a geographic kind of shift happening as well, or kind of already brewing. So simply see, I think you're going to have some really cool stuff happen probably this time, or maybe just a little bit before this time of the year in 2025, that will be very much have to do with education, job, kind of those life sequence things where there is a higher trajectory. But anyway, I think it will be good, or whatever comes next year will be good. But right now, I'm seeing that the timing's off a little bit. Is kind of what I have, right? Okay, so I hope that helps. I hope you understand at least a little bit of that. I'm going to take a drink and then we will get into the next question. All right. Okay, and this is why I don't. This is why I don't read the comments, because then I get sucked in. Not that one. That one. All right. I actually thought you were coming to change your predictions about the presidential race. No, not doing that. Okay. See how easy that was. All right, Barbara, thank you so much for your question. Barbara writes in and says, I'm a content creator. I've seen a sizable decrease in sales and activity. Can you tell me if my income will improve? And if so, when might that happen? All right. And just also a little bit of a caveat. Many of these are kind of paraphrased because I only get 200 characters for each banner. All right. So, Barbara, thank you for the question. Okay. So, when we get into, the rest of this year is a bit of a status quo as well. I feel the energy. I know you're struggling. I can definitely feel that. Obviously, you're telling me that, but I can feel it as well. Status quo for the rest of the year. I feel like actually buckle in for the first quarter of 2025. I feel like you might still have to kind of go through that lower, decreased activity, so to speak, in the first quarter. When we get into the second quarter of 2025, and then also into the third quarter, so right there in the kind of spring, summer area, is when I see more. I do think it's kind of up and down, but it's almost like imagine like a heart rate monitor where it pops up. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. So then we get into some like more. It still feels a little peak and valley kind of energy for me, but that's when you start. The heart rate, so to speak, of the energy kind of pops up a little bit. One of the things that is going to, I guess, be the catalyst for some of these getting back on that track of, higher activity, higher sales, that type of thing. What they're showing me, and I have no idea what you do as far as content and what that's connected to how you make money, but what they're showing me feels much like this, where we kind of go in a new direction. Specifically, I want to do like a specific product or service that's being offered that we're doing content for. I'm leaning a little bit more towards a product um, that is like the new kind of flagship is what I'm saying. The new, hero, moneymaker, whatever you want to call it. So watch out for those types of opportunities where, because what they're showing me literally is what they're showing me in my mind's eye here is like hitching to a new wagon. So right around probably early summer, I'm predicting there will be a new wagon, a new hero that your content and your activity will be connected to, and then will actually give you an opportunity to start raising the activity and also subsequently money, right? So that's income. So that's kind of what I get. And then from there, like I said, it's a bit of an up and down, but I think once we kind of get into the later part of the year, then things are figured out and we kind of have a bit of a plan. And then you can kind of at least see that upward trajectory and start to feel it building. So that's kind of what's happening. I think the first part of the year, next year, rest of this year, and then first part of 2025 will be eh, not great. But the good news is there's a hero coming. All right, let's go to Melanie. Let me get this out of my eye here. All right, Melanie, thank you for the question. Melanie writes in and says, "Hi, could you give me insight if I'm ever going to move back to New Jersey, and if so, when and how?" I've got a not anytime soon is kind of what I'm understanding. So when I feel this energy, it's a bit of a desert, right? When we talk about trying to connect that move to New Jersey and where you're at now, and then time wise, it feels like a bit of a desert. So what that tells me is I'm thinking this is a bit of a guess, to be honest, but we go out several flips of the calendar. So I'm guessing it's like a 6 to 8 year kind of situation. When I look at your timeline of kind of life events, family events, opportunity, and that type of thing, what it shows me is when you ask how, it's very much showing me kind of a very practical kind of life event situation that will either be like a family catalyst, like a job catalyst, or even like a relationship catalyst is kind of what I'm getting. So it's kind of a big change in your life that will allow you to or kind of spark you, inspire you, whatever you want to call it, to move to New Jersey. Okay, and I actually feel like you're quite a ways away from it geographically. Like there's the time desert, and there's also like a space desert as well. So that's showing me that you're pretty far away from it geographically and time wise. But hang on, the good news is I feel like you've got a lot of stuff that's going to be happening in your life geographically where you're at, and then also within your time as well to keep you busy and moving along. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you for the question. All right, I'm just going to jump back into the comments just to see how you guys are doing. Let me know how you're doing, how you like the show. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do that. If you've not hit the like button, please do it. Don't hit the thumbs down. Don't do that. North Carolina. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right. Thank you, Melanie. All right. So for everybody that is putting questions into the comments, please just email me at the Stopher Show at stophercavins.com, and I will get you next week, right? Every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. All right. Back to, we've got just a couple more. All right. Our good friend of the show, Esperanza. Do my guides have a message for me? Okay, so Esperanza, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story. We had an email exchange today, and I'll definitely paraphrase. But she was telling me about a situation and where there might have been some things in her bag when she got food that were missing that she was quite sure were there before. And she had mentioned that she had a brother that recently passed. So I just thought it was interesting because when I opened up this email, I literally was in my session and got a message about a brother. Now, to be very transparent, I didn't get a message as if I was speaking to the brother in spirit, but it was more so, I didn't know the context about, that, but it was a recent passing. And I just got a message that, there was a connection. There was definitely like a message for her about brother and some changes to his life, his family, being supportive for them, and things being okay. And so and it was crazy the timing of it because I opened up the email literally after I got a message about her brother, and I don't know her, so I don't know that she has a brother or what happened with it, but there was a really interesting message. So I think it just like kind of confirmed that whatever the weird thing that happened was definitely him kind of participating and having a little fun with her and the family. But so there was that. So she already got that message, and I'm glad that that was able to come through. Now, Esperanza, your notes over here. The, this coming up, I feel like when we talk about like the next 6 months, you're in a real growth kind of energy, is what I want to tell you. So it's one of these things where you'll be shown different. When I was talking earlier about how spirit talks to us and shows us the flow that we need to be in, or that we're kind of best served to be in, um, you're going to have a really kind of interesting flow of energy that is going to. It's kind of one of those things where when we're growing, when we're doing new things, it can be a little uncomfortable. So my prediction for you is you got the opportunity to be really uncomfortable for the next 6 to 8 months, but in kind of the best way. And what the energy, your energies are showing me, and the message here is that you're actually going to be growing in a way where you are helping people. I almost feel like it's in a place of spirituality as well, specifically. Um, so I don't know if you're a person that's like a light worker, or you've kind of had this, no pun intended, but light come on in that realm as far as spiritual connection, doing light work or spiritual work as it connects to other people to help them in that way. But there's a real journey here. Okay. If you want it, if you don't want it, you don't have to do it. But if you do want it, there's a real opportunity for growth and actually taking this to where you're doing, I don't know that it's like doing it as a job, as I do it, but perhaps doing it in a way that it does take up your time resource, and you are, it might be a thing where you're doing it, more in a charitable way. But yeah, so there's that going on for you. I do think I also have to tell you, this just kind of came through here. Your energies want you to know that you have been focusing on, it's almost like an applause coming through saying you have done some work on your health, on your physical health, not just the emotional and mental, but the physical health. And so there's a little bit of like almost you will be rewarded. This is getting better and better and better. There's some real opportunity to even continue to kind of increase that good physical health as well, because they're showing me that you've done some work here, and continue doing the work, but you're really going to reap the benefits of how well you feel, and then how that kind of translates into other types of energy that you're able to really capture. So I like the energy. I don't always, I like to sometimes call myself the bad news medium, because if there's bad news, not that I enjoy delivering it, but I'm happy to serve spirit in the way that I will deliver news that maybe, or energy that is sometimes challenging. But with you, I guess I'm taking the long way around and saying I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. This is really the energy for you. So go for it. Run with it. All right. And if I haven't told you all, thank you for being here. I love each and every one of you. I'm grateful for the connection we have. And yeah, I'm sorry about my political predictions, if you don't like them. It's not a personal opinion necessarily, or a desire. All right, so let's go into who's next. There might just be one more. Merete. All right, thank you. Merete, I don't know, I'm assuming this is a she, but they emailed me, Stopher. I'm very cold and have been for a while. Okay, I was just thinking like sometimes I'm cold too, but not in the temperature sense. All right. Do you have any insights into what the problem is? I'm actually feeling that when you say I'm cold, that you are talking about physically cold. There's not a problem here. Immediately, your team is saying it's almost like they're saying that's us. We're doing that. Of course, I have to reiterate, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm kind of taking the like there being some kind of physical catalyst here. I'm taking that off the table, is what the energies are showing me. So this is much more of a energetic it's not really like communication is like direct communication, like, oh, there's a spirit coming in and then your body gets cold. It's more like there's just a kind of a change in energies and these new energies that maybe you're not already calibrated with. Because like with me, I have a team of energies that I work with and I'm very familiar with them. And so they don't make me anymore have like those physical reactions. There's some, and I won't get into what they are, but I kind of know what to expect when energy is, when I'm really close to the energy, when I'm kind of channeling it through. But they're just showing me that this is like kind of a new team, or whatever you want to call it, kind of a new batch of energies that you're really just kind of getting recalibrated or calibrated to, and your body's just having some different physical reactions. So what I would say, I think the directive here in the energy is get to know them. When you get that feeling, as uncomfortable as it might be, 'cause I understand that, I hate being cold. Just know that it's kind of like, okay, what do I need to know? Let me just kind of acclimate in this energy, and you'll eventually. I think we're probably a month or so, and it really is a timeline that you can speed up just by getting acclimated with it. um, whether it's through meditation, speaking to it, kind of just really understanding the new relationship there. But that's what it is. I'm confident. All right, I think that's everyone. Let me just make sure. So I'm hoping that when I go to my email, you've all emailed me, and we can have maybe like 10 to 20 questions next week. Maybe invite some folks on. If you do want to come on to the show next week, just email me, the Stopher Show at stophercavins.com. I will send you a link, excuse me, and we'll get you on. And we can do mediumship, we can answer questions, all that stuff. All right. Does anybody, we're not, like I say, I'm not going to dip into the chat to answer question, but does anybody have anything they want to share? Does anybody want to come on now and just chit chat? If not, we'll probably just call it a day, and I'll go watch Monday Night Football. All right, friends. So once again, I do offer private sessions, 30-minute, 45-minute, 50-minute sessions. I do pet energy reads as well. If you have a pet here in the physical that you would like to have me connect with, and then basically let you know what the conversation was, what the pet's doing, what the pet's feeling, what they need, what they don't need, we can do that as well. So stophercavins.com. All my schedule is up to date and on there. You can schedule an appointment as early as probably tomorrow. So yeah, I tried email, I couldn't send. All right, Gypsy Raven. Yeah, so it's the Stopher Show at stophercavins.com. If you're having trouble with that one, you can use my an alternate email. I prefer you use the Stopher Show, but you can also stophercavins@gmail.com as well. Okay. All right, friends, have a good night. Sorry it was a little quicker than normal than I've done in the past, but we will be back. We will be back next Monday. Have a good evening.